A pro-life charity worker was arrested by the police in Britain for simply standing on the street and praying in her head. We've heard of a time when in Europe and across the world, people didn't have basic self-determination or individual liberties, and at the same time, Britain was the beacon of hope and the home of those freedoms. Even Karl Marx had to flee mainland Europe to come to London to express his idiotic opinions and write his illogical literature. Now, this is a debate about what happened yesterday, and forget about the fact that some people are pro-life or pro-choice. This isn't really about that discussion. This is about simply having the freedom to not harm anybody, but express your opinion or do whatever you want, which used to exist in this country. Now, this is about this pro-life charity worker, Isabel Spruce. Now, Isabel was standing outside an abortion clinic in Britain, and she's done it before a couple of times, especially when the actual clinic was closed, so nobody was even there. But the police approached her because clearly someone grasped her up. Someone told on her to actually be approached by the police. Now, there is one argument to be made, and it happens in America as well, when it comes to buffer zones, when it comes to having civility, when it comes to the debate, regardless of if you're pro-life or pro-choice. Outside these clinics, the police tend to try to avoid conflicts or clashes. Now, that's one thing. Fine, I get it. Nobody should be abused or confronted in an aggressive way in terms of actual harm, inciting violence or whatever. But she wasn't even doing that. She was simply standing there, and she, as I say, she's done it before when the clinic was closed. She's not approaching anybody. She's not preaching. She's not shouting. She's not insulting anyone. She's not, doing anything to anybody. She was just standing there, and because that's just her views. But this happened, so I'm going to go to the clip and see exactly what we dealt with.
Okay, thank you. Before I ask you any questions about what's going on today, I have to caution you, which is just your rights, which is you do not have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given.
Really?
What are you here for today?
Okay, before she starts, we are going to talk about the fact that the police are not really utilising their time to go after actual criminals. But even in terms of basic police process, you don't instantly go into doing the caution or even arrest. Usually, you go and investigate. You have a conversation first before you actually, unless you have credible evidence of any threat that's been posed. They initially went into it, and they literally instantly going to arrest her. This is the problem, and she knows her law, and she also obeyed. She didn't do anything. She didn't confront them. She didn't try to resist anything. But let's go to it.
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
Okay, that's why you're stood. Is you standing here part of the protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head out loud.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other days where there are allegations that you've broken public spaces protection order?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest on suspicion of failing to comply with the public spaces protection order.
Seriously?
Which is under the
Absolutely embarrassing.
Policing Act 2014. Now, of course, you again, you do not have to say anything. You may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand the caution?
I do, yes.
Your arrest is necessary.
Is it? Is it necessary?
Investigation into the offence. What that means is so that I can ask you some questions.
Wow.
And also to protect vulnerable people, mainly service users in the clinic. Okay. So you'll accompany us out to the police station. You get booked in front of the custody sergeant, and then if you want a solicitor, you can have a solicitor on the limb for you. Okay. I don't intend to handcuff you, but obviously my colleague will search you because you're going to get into a police car and make sure you don't have anything harm us or you can use to. Okay.
Oh my god. We're going to search you to make sure you don't have anything to harm us. Wow. So this is the first clip that we have, and then the second clip, which I'm going to show you, is about when she was being searched. And again, this I'm going to show you that just to prove that she wasn't resisting, and she was still being nice, and she just followed the law. She literally just did what they asked her to do. Let's go to the second clip. Don't know if that's necessary. The whole thing is unnecessary. It just proves that the priorities of the police have changed. Also, 3 police officers for one tiny woman. What were they expecting? Fight back? Aggression? Wow. So yeah, let's fast forward. It's a very thorough search as well.
Do you want me to inform this gentleman where you're going? Which police station? No? Okay.
Jesus. Wow. Now, whatever happened to logic? Whatever happened to good policing? I know that there will be police officers who would say they were just following the orders. I get it, following the orders. But at the same time, I know the main fault is the law and obviously the justice system and the politicians that we have. But at the same time, the police commanders and people at the top of the management of the police, they also have their discretions and they also have their authorities, and they could have dealt with this differently, I guess. But this is the country we're living in, and 3 police officers wasted their time to do that at the same time. Wherever they were, and in other parts of the country, all the other cities and streets, actual criminals are still walking around. Actual extremists who are a danger and a risk to national security are still walking around. We're not doing anything about that. But clearly, a little woman standing outside a clinic that's usually when she's there is closed, and she's not protesting, she's not preaching, she's not approaching anybody, and she's not even praying out loud to, again, like in a preacher way. She's simply just standing because that's her belief, those are her views, and she's just going with her values. That's all it is. So as I said, regardless of the fact, being pro-choice or pro-life, I think everybody could agree with this incident that it was not handled the right way. And it was very unnecessary, and it just proves that everything is becoming authoritarian in this country, even more than before. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.